After getting the SSS level mission task, our MC sets out to complete it. This is a mission in which the guy is not very powerful but his family background is very powerful, so our MC will have to do it very carefully. Because in this task, if our MC makes even a little mistake then he will have to face the Martial Saint. However, as soon as our MC completes this task, he will become the student of Martial Saint Tan Zhongyu. In the first page we see the suburbs of Nanping City where a crime has occurred. A superior officer comes there and asks everyone to hurry up and block the entire area as soon as possible. This superior officer is a little stressed because she may have to send reinforcements to President Kayan at any time. The name of this officer is Xiao Yaran and she is the deputy director of Nanping City Police Headquarters. After blocking the area, Xiao Yaran quickly asks the people standing in the sniper position about what is going on inside. Because if they can see what is going on inside, then she asks them to report as soon as possible. Meanwhile, an officer comes there and says, "Duty director, there is no need to worry." And while saying this, the face of this police officer is tension-free. Because many of the experts coming here from the capital for this event are at the peak of rank 6. There is even an expert from the top 300 hunters list, including President Kayan. They can deal with a rank 7 monster with that force. After listening to these words of this officer, Xiao Yaran removes the stretch from herself a little because she feels that this officer's words are right. This officer has so much power in his words that he convinced Officer Xiao Yaran in just a few minutes, and her tension was reduced a little because there is a rank 6 monster inside. And the prerequisite to becoming one of the top 300 hunters is to kill 10 rank 6 monsters alone. Thinking all this, Xiao Yaran says to herself, "Maybe I'm just overthinking this. If nothing unexpected happens, before the sun sets, we might successfully solve this invasion issue." Under the light yellow sunset and despite so much blocking, Xiao Yaran sees a taxi coming there and she even looks back to see who it is. And as soon as the taxi stops there, we see our MC who starts coming out of the taxi. The taxi driver gets a little scared after seeing this area and asks our MC to take care because he found this area deserted as well as a little scary. Our MC thanks him for this. Then the taxi driver grumbles and looks around and asks, "In such a desolate region, why are there so many police cars?" Then after this, our MC starts going inside. Seeing him moving towards the block area, Yaran asks him to stop and asks him not to come a little further. She tells our MC that this region is blocked, so leave from here as soon as possible. Our MC puts his hand in his pocket and tells them all that I have come here for a mission and I also have proof. Then he takes out the mission proof from his pocket and shows it to Yaran. Our MC gives the proof of the mission in front of Yaran. Yaran starts reading it carefully. Then she sees in the mission certificate that this guy is a freshman of 7 St. Martial University. As soon as her eyes fall on the word freshman written in the mission certificate, she laughs and says suspiciously to our MC, "Are these the requirements at the St. Martial University now, to dare give such a mission to a freshman?" However, our MC does not argue with this and quickly takes his mission certificate and puts it in his pocket, saying that it is a personal matter. The way our MC took his mission certificate from Yaran's hand, Yaran was shocked to see this. She was also in confusion because our MC took his certificate so fast that even Yaran could not look at it. Thoughts started running through her mind due to surprise, because Yaran is a rank 4 martial artist and she didn't even notice when our MC took the certificate from her. And this very thing about our MC forced Yaran to think that our MC is not what he seems. Then she says to Lu Sheng, who is moving ahead, "You won't need help, some people have already entered. For rank 6, all at the peak, there is also an expert from the top 300 hunter list. If nothing goes wrong it should end soon." Our MC is listening to her very quietly, but as soon as he hears the name of hunter list, he asks, "What is this hunter list?" Yaran then starts telling our MC about the hunters list. The list of the Martial Arts Association, specially made for hunters who accept bounties. The higher the level of mission completed, the higher the rank. While saying this, Xiao Yaran felt that the height of Lu Sheng standing in front of her had suddenly started increasing and some changes had started taking place in his body. However, our MC stands in front of her absolutely calmly and no change can be seen in him. But this sensory and visual experience of Xiao Yaran made her feel a little inexplicably uncomfortable, due to which she could not say anything else. And at this moment there is a little smile on the face of our MC that this is right, and this trip will not go in vain unnecessarily. Lu Sheng is moving ahead after saying this and Xiao Yaran is just looking at him with surprise. Then another officer comes there and as soon as he arrives he shouts at our MC, "Hey kid, didn't you understand? We told you, we don't need you anymore." Before they could say anything else, a huge roar suddenly came from the unfinished building behind them. and suddenly, explosions started happening in that building. This explosion was enough to scare the people present there. A police officer asks with fear what is happening. Then Xiao Yaren quickly takes out the walkie-talkie and asks everyone to be ready. The explosion that had occurred subsided, there was dust due to the explosion, and within a few minutes, 3 figures are seen coming from within that dust. Those 3 people are running away with great fear, and just by looking at them it is clear that they are running away from something which is very scary, and there is some kind of vine behind all 3 that is chasing them. One person, who was running the slowest of the 3, could not dodge in time. In the middle of his jump, a vine of flesh got stuck in his right leg and he was suddenly pulled back. By now the vine had gripped his entire body and started pulling him inside that building again. At this time the man had tears in his eyes and fear could be clearly seen on his face. When he was being pulled inside, he was saying, "Save me." The ear-piercing screams, filled with panic and despair, rapidly became louder and smaller and within seconds disappeared into the unfinished building. All the policemen standing in front of that building were surprised. They were frozen in place at this time. And in its next movement, all the policemen start firing towards the building so that the 2 people who are running away can be saved from that vine. The entire area is filled with the sound of firing, but the vine has already gone from there and is not attacking outside. And just then a survivor comes down and falls on the ground. As soon as Xiao Yaren sees the survivor, she quickly calls the medical team. Meanwhile, the guy lying on the ground caught hold of Xiao Yaren's collar and said to her in fear, "All the information you gave us was wrong. The monster inside is not rank 6, it's a near rank 7. After listening to this, Xiao Yaren's face suddenly changed and fear can be clearly seen on her face, and in this fear she says, "What? Near rank 7? This is not something the city's forces can handle. We must contact the military now." She immediately takes out her walkie-talkie and proceeds to send this information. However, our MC stops her and tells her that there is no need to do this, let me try it first. By now our MC has taken the walkie-talkie from Xiao Yaren's hand and calmly looks at her and says, "Just remember to help me adjust the mission level after this is over." Saying this, our MC starts leaving from there and asks them all to drink a glass of water and take rest. Hearing this from Lu Sheng, the people present there were not able to understand anything. They were just considering our MC as an arrogant guy. And our MC leaves from there saying, "Just give me 5 minutes." And then he reaches the building so fast that the people present there are unable to even glimpse his shadow. All the people present there are just amazed to see such fast speed of Lu Sheng. Everyone is stunned, they are not able to understand who this guy is. A middle-aged man who was standing with them till now says in surprise, "Heavens, what the hell? What kind of speed is this?" And the survivor who has just escaped also says something under his breath, "Who is that kid?" As our MC entered the building, he smelled a very strange, strong smell. It smells like dead cattle that have been left exposed to the sun for 3 to 5 days. Lu Sheng had smelled this smell once before when he was selecting Morning Star in the Eastern Military Region. But that was not as strong as this smell now. Smelling this smell, it seems as if the monsters of selection had already been bathed. With the help of spiritual guidance, our MC quickly moved ahead. Our MC quickly reached the floor from where spiritual energy was coming in very strong quantities. And as soon as he opened the door, he was a little surprised to see the scene before his eyes. Because right now in front of our MC is a monster that is eating the guy who was forcefully pulled inside a moment ago. That guy has been dead for a long time. His eyes are open, and even after death, fear is clearly visible on his face. The little breathing that was going on stopped within a few moments. There are many more dead bodies lying here, which this monster has eaten and killed everyone. This is a giant red-colored monster that has killed all the hunters who came to this floor. This monster has made our MC angry, and we can see a glimpse of anger on our MC's face, and he says in anger, "It was actually you, naked eye worm monster." Then the monster throws that guy's body on the ground. Seeing him, our MC says, "Forgive me, I was a little late." However, our MC is unable to tolerate this monster's impudence and becomes very angry. Due to anger, golden-colored energy starts coming out from his body. He has become so angry that he can destroy this monster at any time. The energy coming out of him starts causing problems to the monster. And before killing this monster, our MC makes a promise to the dead hunter. "I promise all of you that I will give this monster a painful death." There is such energy coming out of our MC's body that it is enough to burn anyone. His eyes are red due to anger. He is giving off killing intent. Now we will see the new power of our MC, how he will defeat this monster. So friends, chapter ends here. Now what will happen next, we will know in the next chapter. And don't forget to give number out of 50 to the chapter, and we will meet in another video. Till then, goodbye. Now what will happen next? You can tell your opinion by commenting. And don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video too.